Listen, I realize I have a long history of people thinking that I'm not right or that I'm wrong all the time, which couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, some of the things that I've said have absolutely turned out to be true. I mean, if you're looking for notable things recently, I was the one touting things like, the Xbox Series X and PS5 wouldn't be a huge difference in power, and the games would pretty much be negligible between the two of them, and that's exactly what's happened. And it wasn't because I was an insider, it's because I was paying attention to what developers were actually saying and not trying to pander to anybody. And I think that's what kind of sets me apart from other people. You can even go back as far as I actually had PlayStation 4 Pro, which was Neo at the time, and Xbox One X roadmaps, and I had the Xbox One X name, and that video is still up where I had the name Xbox One X well before anybody else had that name. So just very interesting little things that kind of pop up, and everybody thinks that I'm so wrong all the time. I said that Halo Infinite would be delayed. I had heard, and other people had heard, obviously, as well, that they were having issues, and thankfully that turned out okay. That year delay helped them immensely, and will probably continue to help them. And again, for me to be right about stuff, I think it's fine. I just don't think I get the credit, and I guess I'm not really looking for glory or like, people like Crapgamer is an insider. I'm not looking for anything like that. I'm just looking for people to maybe go, oh, you know what? He's not as lame or stupid or as ignorant as I originally thought. That's all I'm looking for. Honestly, that's all I'm looking for. And I was right with this right from the beginning, and I called it. And it's going to be a topic you're not going to want to miss, and it's going to be a video that's going to probably be a little bit, one of those videos that some people aren't going to like. But hey, it is what it is. Hey there everyone, I'm the Crapgamer, and this of course is Crapgamer Reviews, your home for gaming news, opinions, reviews, and much more. You'll probably notice some cool changes around here, and hopefully that doesn't stop you from giving us a like, and possibly even consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some of your free time with me today. It really does mean a lot. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas Eve, Happy Holidays, all that kind of good stuff. Hopefully you guys are going to get exactly what Santa wants to bring you, and hopefully that's exactly what you wanted. Now, listen, one thing that I've never wavered on, is my like of Sea of Thieves. I think that it's a really good game. I think that it's multiplayer-wise, it's unlike anything else. I think that it's just fun to kind of chill with friends, have a drink, play the game. It's literally the only game I know where you play for 5 hours and you've literally accomplished nothing. Like, honestly, and that's part of the fun of it. And I think that that's one of the things that I really enjoy most about it. Now, I don't play it as much now as I used to, but I remember saying that it would be a big hit, and we continue to see it be a big hit. And now I'm not even a PC fan or a Steam fan, but seeing that it passed 5 million sales on Steam alone is pretty good. Obviously it's probably sold very well on Xbox and maybe even the Windows Store as well, but it wouldn't be unfathomable to think that this game has 10, 12 million in sales, even though it's on Game Pass. So Sea of Thieves is the latest game from developer Rare, and after a bumpy few years, the title obviously launched in 2018 and was something of an experiment, as it was the first of Microsoft's major first-party titles to launch day and date on Xbox Game Pass. I want to point out that despite it being on Game Pass and me having Game Pass at that time, I actually bought the game. So yeah, there's that. Something that has become the norm in the 4 years afterwards is that all their games launch on Game Pass. The game also made its way to PC and then even eventually onto Steam, where it seems that it has found some pretty incredible success. The developer announced via Twitter that the game has passed 5 million sales on Steam. Keep in mind, this is only Valve's storefront. The numbers don't include whatever the game has potentially sold on the Windows Store. So we got to keep that in mind. Again, this is something that we should all just be like, hey, that's a really good number. That's really awesome to see the success. It's even more impressive when you consider that the game is on PC and PC Game Pass, and as of October this year, it was said the game had over 25 million players. And we all know players aren't exactly the same thing as sold, but it's still a good determining factor of how popular something is. Sea of Thieves is obviously available to everybody right now, and if you play the game between December 22nd and 29th, you will all get the Together Now emote, which is below, so they're doing that as a celebration or whatever, which I think is really cool. Now, the funny thing was this game came out, and I was like, a lot of people think that it was something where I was like, hey, it's the best new IP. I think multiplayer-wise, probably, and I think I got a little bit caught up in some of the hype and stuff like that. Originally, I totally agree that it didn't have the content that it needed to attract a larger audience, but I knew that the core to something special was there, and even interviewed Craig Duncan, the head of Rare at the time, and was just a really good interview. And he was just really fair and honest about a lot of the stuff that was going on. And it didn't seem like Microsoft really truly believed in the game until a bit later. And I think that's a little bit strange as well. Like, at the end of the day, this game was offering something that, Microsoft hadn't really done before. And I know, like, a lot of people aren't a fan of games as a service type games, and I get it, because I'm not a huge, like, games as a service type guy either. But I don't think that they're all bad. I actually think that, some of them can be quite good, and, they serve a purpose as well. Like, not every game has to be cookie cutter or the same type of thing as everything else, and I think that's the part where a lot of people get confused. I don't think every game needs to be games as a service, but I think that it's okay for a game like this that's going to add, they add a ton of content to it, and they add, all the cool stuff that they've added to it. I think that makes it a game that's going to be lasting, because for a game that's multiplayer only, it's going to require quite a bit of, of fans to actually go out there and play the game and enjoy the game. And and I think that's something where you need a constant influx of you need that influx of great fun and new content. So as far as I could tell, we definitely need to see, like, more great games like this. And not every game has to be this, but I do think that as we kind of see things happen along the way, we're going to continue to see games continue get better and better, and kind of open up our eyes a little bit when it comes to this kind of stuff, because I do think that we need games of all kinds, not just single player, not just not just multiplayer, but we need a good mix of everything. And I feel like that is where we should be at with, like, gaming and stuff like that. So I do hope that we see a lot of variety and stuff like that in the future, because I think it's important to do that, to have that kind of variety and stuff like that. So I hope that we continue to see some great things from these companies, and I hope that Rare continues to do great things. This is also a bit of a kind of a stick it to some people that thought Rare was dead or whatever. I mean, listen, I talked to Greg Duncan. They were the ones that wanted to do the Avatar stuff and the Kinect stuff, and to their credit, they did a very good job with what they had, and the Kinect sports games were some of the best selling. They sold like 5, 8, 10 million, something like that. So they're incredibly successful, even with games that hardcore gamers didn't care about. So I can't wait to see what they do next. I'm excited by this. I'm going to link this in the description. Happy holidays. Let me know what you guys think. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Crap gamer out.